you're listening to Do This First, a daily personal development podcast that focuses on science-backed, actionable steps towards your best year ever. Hi, I'm Santa, your host. We are 66 days away from the end of 2024. 66 days away. My gosh. We're continuing with our micro series, Finish Strong. If you're looking to build a strong core audience, then this might be the right podcast episode for you. Developing a niche is absolutely the way to go. Strategically defining an area of expertise and allow your brand to stand out and connect deeply with your audience. Finding a niche starts with self-reflection, really, and market research. Here are steps to identify potential niches within your field. Number one, you really have to assess your passion and your expertise. What do you love doing? What skills or knowledge do you possess that others might not? Create a list of competencies unique to you. What differentiates you? We talked about this in previous podcast episodes. How are you different? Another thing you can do is analyze market trends. You can use Google Trends or industry reports to identify hot topics within your domain. Observe competitors, which we talked about as well, and identify areas that they might not be tapping into fully. And we're going to talk more about that in a little bit. Identify gaps in services or products. Engage with your audience through surveys or discussions to better understand their pressure points. Note any recurring themes or frustrations regarding current offerings. Put yourself in your audience's shoes. If you were the customer, what would you like to see? What would you like to buy? What would you like to engage with? What type of experiences would you like to have? Put yourself in their shoes. How can a brand add value to you? The answers to these questions probably hold the answers for your niche. Once you've identified potential niches, it's crucial to pinpoint underserved markets. We'll talk about this in great detail tomorrow, and it is so hugely important. It's really one of the reasons why some brands last forever. This is across domains. It could be entertainment, consumer goods, professional services, you name it. So it'll be a great episode for you. You also need to define your unique value proposition. Clearly articulate what makes your brand different and why consumers should choose you, why a customer or client should choose you. In previous podcast episodes, we've talked about creating a buyer persona. That's really important. Developing a detailed profile of your ideal customer includes demographics and behaviors and needs. You really have to know who your audience is. Who are you creating these products, these services for? And of course, if you don't have a website, you definitely should do that. Wix is awesome. I have most of my websites on Wix. GoDaddy is a cost-effective alternative as well, but they just don't have all the bells and whistles. And of course, you have to have a social media strategy. Choose the platforms that align with your audience. Like some people just live and die by Facebook, which I haven't been on Facebook in years, but other people use Instagram, and that is their platform, and yet other people use Twitter. So you really have to see where your audience is and what they like to use. And then you can also look at influencer partnerships. Like identifying influencers with your niche, collaborate with, helps to increase your brand's visibility and credibility. Not all attempts, though, I will tell you, to carve out a niche result in success. This can be very tricky, especially if your data is not fresh. There are some other reasons why failure can happen when you're trying to carve out a niche. For example, your research. If you don't fully understand the market or the audience's needs, it can lead to misguided offerings. So you have to really be sure that you know who your audience is. Also, over specialization can kill you. Focusing too narrowly may alienate potential customers who fall outside that defined scope. And then poor execution. A great idea poorly executed will ultimately fail, whether it's due to inadequate marketing or subpar products or services. Some warning signs and ways to fix any problems. So you should always look at declining engagement. You should monitor engagement metrics. If they drop, reassess content relevance and audience alignment. Use feedback, pivot and realign with your audience's interests. Look at negative feedback, track reviews and comments. Consistent negative feedback might require a service or product redesign. It might mean that you need to take a different approach. If you do find that there are people who've bought your services or products and they are unhappy, try to find out why and resolve those issues. That's really important. It's really important for people to feel that you care, especially if they're spending their money on something that you're offering. And if you're seeing that growth is stalling, like your sales are stalling, you might consider diversifying your offerings a little bit or expanding your marketing reach to reach new audiences. Another thing that can really help you finish strong this year and catapult your niche or your brand is to look at the influencers in your niche. There are influencers in every niche, and this is a good way to identify them. You can look at relevant hashtags. By tracking hashtags that are pertinent to your niche, you can discover the emerging voices and established authorities in your industry. Hashtagify is really good at doing this, but they are a premium service. Another thing is you can look at to see who your audience is engaging with outside of you. That might also give you a clue into who are the influencers in your niche. Another thing you should look at is building a list of keywords. Creating a keyword list is essential if you want to rank at all in your niche, which would help you establish yourself as an authority. There are research tools like Ubersuggest and Google Keyword Planner that can help you identify what those keywords are that are relevant to your niche. You can also analyze your competitors' keywords. You can do this through SEMrush. There's just a bunch of tools out there. Just search for analyze competitor keywords, and you can put in almost anyone in there if they have a social media account, especially Twitter, and the tool will tell you what keywords they're using. Always regularly review and update your strategy because technology works so quickly that something that is relevant now for your niche might not be in just a few short months. So stay on top of it so you don't spend money and your efforts on things that are really not going to work. Another actionable step that can help your brand finish strong are sponsorships and endorsements, as they can add credibility and elevate your brand. First though, make sure that you do have a strong brand. Think about how a brand can benefit from partnering with you. Create a sponsorship proposal that outlines the benefits of partnering with you, with your brand, such as audience reach or engagement metrics. Other brands might want to partner with you because they want to tap into your audience, or they think that your service or product is interesting. So don't short sell yourself, because brands, companies partner with other brands all the time, and usually, they don't have to be like billion-dollar brands either, as long as you're providing something that they want. Make a list of the brands that align with your brand. Do they have their events listed? Maybe you can participate. Reach out to the event marketing manager or the brand experience manager. As you move forward, there are a couple of things though that you should keep in mind overall. Consistency is key. Maintain consistency in your branding, your messaging, and in your content to build trust and recognition. Focus on quality. In niche marketing, the value of quality offerings cannot be overstated. Always prioritize delivering the very best that you have. A niche allows for more tailored marketing strategies, resulting in improved engagement and conversion rates. So make sure that what you're offering is the best that you can do, and always try to keep improving. Specialized brands often cultivate stronger relationships with their customers. But again, don't be too overly specialized, because then you'll shortchange yourself and you might get stuck with an audience that you really don't want. With an audience that really doesn't reflect where you see your brand growing. Niches can increase customer loyalty and create repeat business. A specific niche can minimize direct competition as well. It allows your business to establish themselves more easily. I like the example of Untuck It. The Untuck It brand that specifically makes business shirts for men that don't like to tuck their shirts in. Who knew that was a niche? See what I mean? As marketplaces become more saturated, the importance of niche brands is likely to grow, because the world is driven by personalized experiences now. Brands that cater specifically to consumer preferences will thrive. You just have to know what those niches are. So just kind of put on your thinking cap, and I'm sure that you'll be able to kind of fish those out. Emerging technologies such as AI and data analytics will enable us as business owners to pinpoint needs and trends more efficiently, allowing for sharper innovations and offerings. Building a niche is not just about defining your market. It's about understanding your audience and delivering authentic solutions to their needs. By finding underserved markets and establishing your authority and strategically building relationships, you can create successful niche brands that not only resonate with your target audience, but also lay the foundation for broader success in the future, because that's what you want. As opportunities expand, so do the potential rewards. When you focus on your niche, what you're really doing is setting up for future success. Your future self will thank you. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to leave a review. You can also read a full podcast episode on my blog at DoThisFirst.life. And while you're there, sign up for my weekly newsletter where I share cutting-edge information and research on brain health, the neurosciences, and personal and professional development. I also keep you guys in the loop, all the things I have happening, as well as when my coaching sessions open up again, which I have a pretty long waiting list, guys, so don't want to discourage you, but it is what it is. You can also listen to all my podcast episodes on my blog, and you can listen to it on YouTube. My handle there is @DoThisFirst. Tomorrow we'll continue with our micro series, Finish Strong. And we'll be talking very specifically about discovering, locating, and catering to the underserved segments in your niche. Till tomorrow. Moving past the rain.